What if Fortnite never left Chapter 1? Now, this is something that I've thought about before, but it really didn't resonate in my mind until this person named @personwithgoggles on one of my videos commented it as a video idea, so thank you to him for that. But if Fortnite never left Chapter 1 is a really heavy question, and it has a lot of things behind it that you really don't consider by just simply saying the question. Now, obviously, how many maps we've had in Fortnite? Obviously, we're on Chapter 5 right now, so we've had 5 different Fortnite maps, including Chapter 1, and the amount of variety that these different chapters bring is kind of what made Fortnite last this long. Now, outside of UI changes, the map is the sole reason a lot of people play a new chapter. Hop on the new game, see what's going on with this, where all the good stuff, all the new mythics, all the new locations, everything, you know, all the Easter eggs and stuff. A new chapter is kind of like the new peak for Fortnite. You know, about every year now, it seems like that's what they're going to continue doing, is a chapter every year. We get this huge interest in Fortnite, and then it kind of levels off after a little while. These new maps are something that keeps Fortnite going, and I'll get into what it means for Fortnite if we don't have these new maps later on in this video, so stick around. Now, objectively, in answer to a different sort of question of should Fortnite have never left Chapter 1 is a very concrete no. If Fortnite never left Chapter 1, what exactly would that look like though? Technically, it's exactly what you're thinking in your mind right now. The same game over and over and over. Now, what exact season they would stay in, you know, that's kind of a different story. Obviously, I assume the game would continue to evolve, but in a world where they completely shut down Fortnite, let's say after the Black Hole event or after the final event in Season X, nothing happens and they announce that they are done producing new things for Fortnite, and where it stands right now is how it's going to end in Season X. That would be very bad for the game. But if they continued to do different seasons and, you know, change certain things about the game, weekly updates maybe would continue. There's only so much that you could do. You can only unvault so many weapons. You can only bring in so many new weapons. I know that they do bring in new weapons every once in a while, but Fortnite is actually really stingy with how many actual brand new weapons they bring in over the course of time. So that probably would be a little bit more rare in an instance where the game gets really stale if you don't actually bring in brand new weapons. In the case of them staying in Chapter 1, that is probably what would happen. This is one of the biggest things. It's Fortnite couldn't even really capitalize on nostalgia because there hasn't been enough separation. Now, one of the biggest things of Fortnite right now is that every year we know we're going to have a OG season. We had Chapter 1 OG and we're about to have Chapter 2 OG. Whether we're going to get future OG seasons, that is kind of up in the air at the moment, but Fortnite has really been capitalizing on OG and nostalgia recently, and a lot of people think that's one of the only things that kind of, you know, put this game back up to close to where it was in its initial peak. And if they did that, Fortnite couldn't capitalize off of an old map. In this case where they couldn't actually go back to an old map from the new, they would probably just have to go back to old seasons. But there's an issue with this. One of the biggest reasons why Fortnite is so nostalgic is because of the amount of change that there has been and the amount of different like eras that it has went through. If you go back to just an old season, let's say if in Season X, or let's say in Season 15 of Fortnite Chapter 1, if they never leave Chapter 1, they get to Season 15 and they try to do what they did with Fortnite OG, but on the same map, and they're like, guys, we're going back to Fortnite Chapter 1, Season 3, and they've been on the same map the whole time, that wouldn't just have the same vibe. A lot of the reason why people wanted an OG season and why a lot of people wanted to go back to the old map, that was a conversation for a long time, was simply because of the map. You know, the Tilted Towers was a big one, Salty Springs, Pleasant Park, Dusty Depot, and all of the old vibe of that season. If you look at it more mechanically, the art style, the graphics in general, and just like I said, the vibe of that chapter and the time that you are playing that and what that time means is what made a lot of people want to go back to that. Of course, you may still have people who are nostalgic for it just because it was a different time of their life, but the actual reasons, the bigger reasons why Chapter OG was so popular was because it was a separate map, and that would be impossible if they never left Chapter 1. Now, another thing I don't think a lot of people realize about this is that events would be extremely limited. I feel like the greatest example of this is Fortnite concerts. I mean, the Marshmallow event was the first ever Fortnite concert we got in the game, and it was one of the first digital concerts that we've ever had in gaming in general. That is exactly what concerts would look like forever. There would be no Travis Scott concert, there'd be no The Kid Laroi concert, obviously unless they added creative, but in this universe they haven't. For speaking just in terms of Battle Royale, the Marshmallow Concert and the end event would be about as good as it gets. Like, there's not going to be much outside of that. The graphics would be extremely limited, and a lot of this just comes down to they wouldn't be able to upgrade the engine as much. Obviously they could like transfer things over to the same engine, but it would honestly just kind of be a waste of time. I mean, they don't really have anything too crazy to be able to add just because of how limited they are with, like I said, the art style and the mechanics of that map. Things like swimming and cars would be difficult to add due to the terrain. If you guys don't know, the chapter 1 map was made in, I believe, about a month or 2 months. If you guys don't know, a little history lesson here. Fortnite Battle Royale came to be after Epic Games saw the success of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, PUBG, and they wanted to make a unique style of Battle Royale as it was on the rise, and they did it as quickly as they possibly could. That's why Fortnite Chapter 1 has a lot of like rough edges. It's very rigid. It's not a very natural looking map. It's because they made it in literally like 2 seconds in terms of like game development. They really didn't have a lot of time to do that. So things like swimming and cars would be really difficult to add because it would almost have to take an entire rehaul of the whole mechanics of the map for those to even be possible. And swimming in cars nowadays, I mean, just look at Fortnite Wrecked. That wouldn't be possible at all on the Chapter 1 map. Other things like Chapter 2 Season 3, when the whole map flooded, things like that just really wouldn't work completely. I mean, obviously you could flood the Chapter 1 map, but having it go down and make sense, and you know, the water level goes down as over time and it reveals different things, that just really wouldn't work as well on the Chapter 1 map, and it wouldn't have the same effect. Overall, it would be a much worse game. Like, Fortnite would be really, really bad. I know a lot of people realized this when we went back to Fortnite Chapter 1 OG, that Chapter 1 was not very good. Like, in terms of an actual game, if you're comparing it to Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4, it is a complete downgrade. And I've talked about this in other videos, but Chapter 1 is really only being held up by the nostalgia and by it being the original, the birthplace of what Fortnite is today. All in all, Fortnite probably would have died a long time ago if this was the case, but I want to know what you guys think about this down below in the comments. If you guys did enjoy, please do drop a like on today's video. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you think that Fortnite should have never left Chapter 1. What do you think it would look like right now? Use supporter creator code Prozeroyt in your Fortnite item shop, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.